All right, so there are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, and one of them, because I don't even think I made a video about this, because because I don't know. I don't know why I didn't talk about it, but I just didn't. The whole Jonathan Major situation. I don't have to go into details with you guys because you already know what's up at this point. Um, Abba and Preach made a really good video about it, and I agree with them wholeheartedly. I actually also said this. Like he had bad lawyers. He had bad lawyers. His defense was stupid. It was dumb. It was that's one of the reasons why he lost and he got convicted of whatever. Um yeah, but he recently had an interview with Good Morning America, I believe, and people have been talking about it. So I want to watch it with you guys because I've only seen like a few clips.
Told you, time isn't what you think.
Less than a year ago, the name Jonathan Majors was followed by talk of critical and box office success, skyrocketing fame, even Oscar buzz.
I'm coming for everything.
But this morning, a different conversation surrounds that marquee name.
Something about sitting here right now and looking at you and understanding the gravity of the situation. A situation that I, in many ways, put myself in.
The actor spoke exclusively with ABC News for the first time after being convicted in late December for harassment and misdemeanor reckless assault in the third degree, which could carry a penalty of up to a year behind bars.
Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened. In my
Hey, hold on. Wait a minute. What the Nigga, are these Janko jeans? Look at this man's jeans. What the Why he got these parachute ass pants on for? What is going on? I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
In my personal life, in my career, in the culture, it's about responsibility.
Bro went back to the 2000s to grab those jeans. Dad ass.
Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked, and afraid. And I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution's evidence.
She white. What? How is that possible? She white. I know a lot of you don't want to hear that. I get it. But sir, it does not look it does not look good. I'm sorry. Some of you may not even want to hear this, but things go different. If this was a sister instead of a white woman, they probably wouldn't even be in court at this point. No one gives a fuck. But let a black dude supposedly abuse a white shit. She's white. That's why. She's white. That's what it is. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
But after only hours of deliberation, a jury of his peers agreed with prosecutors.
The fuck is this? Is this one of his lawyers? This nigga looks like Lip from Shameless.
That he did physically injure his then girlfriend Grace Jabari in an incident last March.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious.
That 911 call from Majors came hours after an argument broke out with Jabari in the back seat of an SUV when Majors received a text from another woman saying, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." Jabari testified that when she grabbed the phone, Majors tried to get it back, fracturing her finger and giving her a cut behind her ear.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face, twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew.
This is why he lost. This is why you lost. What are you saying right now? Hey, bro. I wish I knew. Sir, it is okay. I understand. Mistakes happen. And keep in mind, I do believe that this is probably what happened. I don't know for sure, but if someone has something of yours and you are in some like a tussle, if you will, he's a strong guy. That is a little woman. It's possible that she could have gotten injured. I feel like no one is going to look at you and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're trying to get your phone back. She took something that was yours. You was trying to get it back. And as a result, you injured her by mistake. That's all you had to say. I was just trying to get my phone back. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I'm not that kind of person. That is not in my character. I will never intentionally put my hands on a woman. But instead, hey, I don't know how she got it. Casper just popped up in the car and just beat the dog shit out of her, and I was confused. I thought she was possessed. Like, no wonder why your dumb ass lost. It's stupid.
Followed by Jabari, whom he then puts back inside the vehicle. What happens next is what the defense remains focused on. Majors runs off, and Jabari chases after him.
If you watch those videos and you reverse that, and you saw a black man chasing a young white girl down the street,
hey, yo.
screaming and crying, that man is going to be shot and killed in the streets of New York City.
Major's defense team shared these photos, which he says show the injuries he received that night, which were deemed inadmissible.
Bro, that legit just looks like they were fighting over his phone. It is what it is.
In court.
How were you injured?
My injuries were...
Wait, they weren't permissible in court. Why? Is that what she just said?
Admissible in court. Team shared these photos, which he says show the injuries he received that night, which were deemed inadmissible.
Inadmissible.
In court.
Why? Why though? And you could tell she scratched him.
My injuries were, I had a scratch on my hand, from clawing for the phone. And I had a gash on my, at the time I had a beard. Under my beard, I had essentially a fingernail scratch on my cheek from pressure. And that bled overnight.
But prosecutors say Majors was the aggressor. District Attorney Alvin Bragg says the evidence presented throughout this trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse. In court, prosecutors pointed to a previous argument during which he knocked a candle to the floor.
I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. That's not something I would want my child to do. And I did that. I absolutely did that. And felt terrible about it.
The prosecution also played audio Jabari had recorded earlier in the relationship where Majors encouraged her to act more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama.
She white. What? She is white. I don't know why you expect this white woman to act like black women. She white. I don't know if he simply just meant, just hold me down, have some decorum, don't do this. Because I think in that conversation, they were just arguing about like her drinking and behaving a certain way. And I think his argument was you wouldn't see Coretta acting like this way. You wouldn't see her having this type of behavior. You wouldn't see Michelle Obama having this type of behavior. Yeah, they black.
The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the...
If you have to have a conversation with your woman and you have to reiterate, the woman that supports me needs to be a great woman, you shouldn't be with her. You shouldn't be with her. You get rid of her. If you have to tell somebody you need to be a good person, you need to be a great woman, find a great woman. I'm not going to say he's a saint in this. He should have left a long time ago. The writing is on the wall. Everybody loves to ignore red flags. I don't know why. I really don't understand why.
The black community, as you're probably well aware, that the people were saying, why
TJ
is he
Simmons
telling
Doubtfire.
this woman to be like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama?
It was me trying to give an analogy of what it is I'm aspiring to be. These great men, Martin, President Obama, and trying to give a reference point to that. One of the things I also say is like, I need her in that case, Grace, to make the same sacrifices that I am making.
In a statement to ABC News, an attorney for Jabari said it.
TJ says staying in a toxic relationship with Mid Milk is crazy. Hey, I agree. I agree. Mid Milk is her new name. TJ, you get all the credit. Mid Milk is crazy.
It is not at all surprising that Mr. Majors continues to take no accountability for his actions, adding, the timing of these new statements demonstrates a clear lack of remorse for his actions.
Do you feel you're not responsible for her injuries at all?
I shouldn't have been in the car.
That's not what she said. That's not what she asked.
I shouldn't have stepped out of the relationship. I shouldn't have been in the relationship. If I'm not in the car,
There you go.
none of this is happening. If I leave the relationship, none of this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm man enough or brave enough to say, I want to see somebody else, or I'm done now, I'm not in that car. We're not here. I'm responsible for those things.
But none of her injuries.
I can't say that. None of her injuries.
Nigga, why though? Why? This is why you lost. I don't understand. It's so simple to say, hey, I might have injured her while I was trying to get my phone. I was trying to retrieve my property. It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard. This is making you look crazy right now because it's like you don't want to take any type of accountability. Now, I will say nobody should be putting their hands on you at all. No one should be putting their hands on you. So I will say a lot of the blame does get placed on her. But at the end of the day, you also have to own up to the part that you played in the situation too. Good God.
This has been very, very, very hard.
Oh, shit, I forgot to use the other browser.
And very difficult and confusing in many ways.
Jonathan Majors breaking his silence just weeks after a Manhattan jury found him guilty of misdemeanor reckless assault and harassment of his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari. The actor, at times emotional.
Oh, sorry. You know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time. You know, and a lot of it has to do with this situation.
In a split verdict, Majors was found not guilty of 2 other misdemeanors, assault with intent to cause physical injury and aggravated assault.
They're saying,
See, that's okay. Hold up. Hold on.
Assault with intent to cause physical injury.
Assault with intent to cause physical injury. So he wasn't guilty of that. So that tells me if he just played into that, he probably would have won. He probably would have won. They would have had a better argument.
And aggravated assault.
They're saying you didn't intend.
Yep, that is most definitely
to injure her.
mid-milks,
Right.
you know.
But the result of your recklessness injured her.
Right.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart,
Oh my God, nigga.
not with her body.
Nigga.
The physical altercation started inside an SUV after Majors received a suggestive text message from another woman. Hours later, after Majors placed a 911 call, police found Jabari unconscious on the closet floor in their apartment, as seen in this body camera footage.
You feel that you did anything wrong on the night of March 25th? If you could relive that night?
I wouldn't have picked her up. I wouldn't have picked her up. I wouldn't have put her back in the car. I wouldn't have tried to keep her in the car.
Woo.
I would have gotten out that car and ran immediately.
The two met back in 2021 on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
The prosecution has described your relationship with Grace Jabari as tumultuous and abusive. How would you describe that 2-year relationship?
I loved Grace. Our relationship was not healthy, you know, and that began to reveal itself over time.
Why'd you stay?
I was scared.
Of
with
what?
the red flags, I found that, and I use this word, I said, oh, this is dangerous. This is months before the incident. I should have been brave. I should have said, no, this isn't working, and I should have walked away. And I didn't.
Troubling signs in the relationship were revealed when prosecutors presented text messages where Majors expressed suicidal thoughts, saying, "Maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man that I don't deserve it and should just kill myself."
Were you suicidal?
The ideations of removing myself from situations permanently is a thought that I've had, since I was a kid, since I was a young boy on the farm in Texas, it's not there anymore. I've done that. I'm doing the work to keep it at bay and make sure it's not there
Oh, this nigga. Oh my gosh. Yo. This man took some PR classes because he has not answered one question directly for real. But this nigga tell me something. I've always had those thoughts. I'm doing the work, blah, blah, blah. Which, I don't want to discredit him. That could very well be true. I understand, okay? A lot of us have had these thoughts before. But I feel like he's bringing that up now. The way that he brought it up was essentially to get some sympathy, it seems like. When she asked him the question in relation to this situation, to this case. He said, I always had a problem with it. I'm just trying to find a way to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. Like, bruh, in pertaining to this case, did you have thoughts of unaliving yourself? Nigga.
Through it all, Major's new girlfriend, actress Megan Good, has remained by his side, even present for our interview.
How would you describe your relationship?
TJ, I'm with you, bro.
She's an angel. She's held me down like a Coretta,
Hey, I'm at this point. I'm sorry. You got it. You got it. You got what you got. You got it. I'm sorry. Stop using Coretta King as an example. Stop it. Stop. This shit is so fucking corny. I don't understand. Oh my gosh. Leave that woman alone. She's like a Coretta. I wish he would stop using her as like the example of like how a black woman should hold down a black man. Keep in mind, I'm not speaking ill of Coretta King at all. But at the same time, her man was cheating and she stayed. God damn.
I'm so blessed to have her. The relationship is still fresh.
How the fuck did he bag Megan Good? Where did they meet?
I think I found her.
The March 2023 incident thrust Major's dating history into the forefront. A Rolling Stone article back in June detailed multiple allegations of abusive behavior dating back to Major's relationships in college, allegations Majors vehemently denies. His attorneys offered past partners to defend him.
Have you ever had issues with domestic abuse?
At the casting couch?
I've witnessed it.
From mid-milk to delicious chocolate.
But never participated.
That is an upgrade.
I've been smacked up before, but yeah, never exercised it. Those relationships went back to when I was 21, 22 years old, and I just think, was I a jerk? Was I, a mean guy? And I go, yeah, knowing what I know now, like, oh, severe depression, childhood trauma. I've had very few relationships, so I can gather what situations we're talking about. Yeah, I was not the best boyfriend all the time.
But never hit a woman?
Never hit a woman. My hands have never struck a woman, ever.
After gaining critical acclaim for films like The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Major's once red-hot career is now seemingly at a standstill.
How are you feeling?
Moments after the verdict, Marvel Studios dropped him. He was set to play the prominent character Kang in...
Dog. Okay, so let's talk about Marvel really quick, right? Because Marvel dropped him so fast. As soon as the verdict came, they dropped him. They were ready to drop this man. They were so ready. You know why? Because Ant-Man ain't do shit. I feel like Marvel handled Kang the Conqueror so poorly. Kang is one of the Avengers' biggest enemies. Potentially worse than Thanos. Way worse. This nigga was terrifying in the comics. They handled this nigga so poorly. The movie did so bad. They wanted to get rid of him. This was just an excuse. This was literally just an excuse.
Upcoming films.
I am Kang!
Exactly. They were,
But
thank you. They were
despite
ready
the
to restart.
possibility of serving time, Majors believes the script for his career is still being written.
You think you'll ever work in Hollywood again?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I pray I do. But it's God's plan and God's timing.
For those who say, look, he's convicted at this point.
Who gonna tell him? Who gonna tell him about Johnny and Amber? That whole situation came out. Johnny ain't worked for some time. Johnny still is not working. Not saying that he can't, but... And that's Johnny Depp. A white man. A very influential white man. I'm just saying.
What would you say? I mean, do you deserve a second chance?
Well, I think I do.
I mean, I think he does too.
I hope other people think that.
I mean, look, don't get it twisted, guys. Like, for real, I don't think Jonathan Majors is a bad guy well, from what I can tell. It doesn't seem like he's a bad guy. People make mistakes. It's obvious. It doesn't seem like the evidence doesn't suggest that he was just striking this mid milk of a white woman, okay? He wasn't beating the living daylights out of her. This was not an Ike and Tina type of situation. The evidence doesn't support that, so I have no reason to think that. If this was a situation where they were just in an altercation because of his phone, he was trying to get his phone back, yes, I believe the man deserves a second chance. Why not? Other people get second chances. Nigga, we gave R. Kelly, for some reason, this nigga was the only exception that we gave 69 chances to. And he pissed it all away. That was a bar. That was a bar. We gave this nigga so many chances. It took for people to find out that he had bitches in his basement. It took so... Oh my gosh. Good luck, nigga. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. I think he most definitely deserves a second chance. Do I think he's going to get that second chance? Now, that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen.